Alright guys, today I put a new radiator in the E30, but it wasn't the one that was meant for it. So let me show you what I did. Alright guys, so yeah, I put a new radiator in this car. This is my 84 318i. I give $450 for this thing. It had a locked up engine when I bought it, but a little bit of WD-40 and a breaker bar fixed that. It smokes like a freight train, but I don't care. I've been driving it for 3 years. So recently the radiator took a crap, so I changed it out. The radiator that I needed for this car which was the one for the 84 chassis, M10, was $468 at AutoZone, and that's $18 more than I paid for the car, so didn't want to do that. Found an M10 radiator. It was $150 at FCP Euro. Still, that's not a bad price, but yeah, I wanted to be really cheap on this thing. Plus, I've got an M42 swap that's going in it, so I thought, why not go ahead and grab an M42 radiator? So that's what this is. This is an M42 radiator for an E30. It was $77 on Amazon. It didn't come with the radiator cap, so I had to buy that. Getting the other radiator out was pretty straightforward. It was like, I think it was like one bolt right here, and then maybe a bolt on the side somewhere. But that thing just comes right out after you take the hoses off. Pretty simple. Then I reused that lower hose, but I had to kind of chop it up a little bit to get the bends right, because I didn't need as much hose as it had to start with. The M10 radiator hose doesn't really want to go over the M42 radiator, so I took a torch and kind of heated the hose up itself and then stretched it over that fitting. So you may fight with that a little bit. And then this hose here, I don't know what this goes to, but I just went to the auto parts store. I took a little piece of wire and just kind of bent this shape, and just went to the auto parts store and tried to match it up. So I don't know what this was, but it was like a $15 hose. So I got a $15 hose, a $77 radiator, $10 radiator cap, and maybe $10 in hose clamps, because I did go ahead and replace a couple of the hose clamps. And then I think it only took like maybe a jug and a half of coolant. That being said, the only other thing, actually, I'm telling you wrong. I did have to buy a 1-inch piece of hose to go to there, and then a 1-inch to 3/4 adapter. Hose clamps are new, and then I ran this hose down along the frame rail here, and then it just ties in to this heater core hose. I don't really know the purpose of this, like what this return hose is, but yeah, I had a hole on the bottom of the reservoir for it, so I hooked it up there. It seems to be working pretty good. I'm gonna put some more miles on it before I say this is 100% the way to go. But it definitely, so far so good. This is just a 3/4 T from Lowe's with some hose clamps, and yeah, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. It was a lot simpler to do this than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to like make some brackets. I just took a bolt and ran it through there, drilled a hole and took a bolt and bolted that in. I don't think it was going to go anywhere anyways, but just to be safe, I wanted to put some bolts on it. I will say the M10 radiator has some sensors hooked up to the bottom of it, and this new radiator does not. So I don't know how accurate my temperature gauge is. I don't know that these go to the temperature gauge. I thought one of these things went to your temperature gauge, but again, I don't know. Either way, those are hooked up and laying to the side. I've got the temperature sensors out of the other radiator. I may eventually try to tap those into the bottom of the radiator somewhere, but for now I just wanted the car back running and driving. So there it is. I mean, short and sweet. All in, it was still cheaper than buying an M10 radiator for a car that's fixing to be swapped to an M42 anyways.